Adjetey could have easily blown this thing out of proportion more than Yvonne Nelson's, aside his cheating episode. He was resolute. That's the difference between a man telling a story and a woman telling a story.
So after Yvonne Nelson launched her book on Father's Day, June 18, actor Adjetey Anang has also released his book, and the title of the book is Adjetey Anang, A Story of Faith, Imperfection, and Resilience. So we have sat for a conversation on the book. People are saying that it's not as explosive as Yvonne Nelson's book was. Some people have also said every writer and the aim they want to achieve. But reading this book, I felt it's an inspirational book. And so if we are looking for controversies, it's only one thing that appears to be controversial or explosive, and that's Adjetey Anang revealing that he has cheated on his wife multiple times, both emotionally and physically. So we are seated for a conversation on this book in this episode of E-Forum on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Benefo Boabin Abrantepa. Later on, we will host Luta. Now, but in the voice the day now Babe to us and say come on I kama. Joining me on the show is Martinez. Quincy Martinez is a film producer, and then Magdona Naneo Asari aka Romeo, Ambassador Romeo, is an artist manager, event organizer, Madina Social Welfare Assemblyman. Penny for Mwakwaba. Yeah, fine.
Rather don't say Ghana fine there.
Ghana bit my fine now when you're fine. And Ghana ebeti mi enkoye, but now we enkoye.
So
aye.
That means second one. No.
Which one?
Ghana koye by enkoye.
I know enkoye maybe more.
The zero you said there. What did you do?
Enkoye man.
It's okay.
It's
okay.
That made gentle, I made dangerous.
It's just I don't know. So Adjetey Anang's book was launched on his 50th birthday, Golden Jubilee, and the celebration was actually nice. He had a lot of actors and actresses, some politicians joining him to celebrate. Romeo, School of Performing Arts Theatre. I'm sure so why a number of events. Did you by any chance encounter Adjetey Anang?
Yeah, School of Performing Arts. Yeah. Usually, old folks, Nadia Boari, Adjetey Anang, friend saying
Edinati.
Baki very finity ni on say Adjetey Anang mo group no
Majidana.
Yeah, Majid.
Okay. Maybe I hear course on
yes. Like once wow na yeah homecoming and sometimes once a while I'm back through so yeah sometimes when I used to be on stage once I want a crowd they come to see one or two live performances. Yeah, I encounter a fine gentleman. Like he's one of those brands in terms of acting in Ghana and Phillips or a full package. He commands the stage and a bar screen, and so the image on the screen as a screen god, we're managing the year. Until this book, you will not think, say, you will not imagine, say, why we say we are waiting me in some kind of book, say we are waiting my baby, but men will always be men. We are donned with some cloth of patriarchy in this African setting. See, there are some school of thought to say, there may be a new shall we means if an African man engages in extramarital affairs, it's not cheating, but it's our nature. But it's something that people also wouldn't want to regularize. Now I say, buttressing the facts of cheating, but he admits his mistakes. And he's a great guy, and I've always loved meeting him. And I was on one set with him some time ago. There was a Poison Bait by one Nigerian producer, Mary Remy, and owners of Rock TV. And he was on that project. So I had that working relationship with him briefly. But on daily basis, now Mishana, in that respect. Radio University, Refi, not by interviews, now for some few minutes, you're very engaged and he will give you some good guidelines and the whole until it's been really wonderful meeting him in person. And he's one of those guys are, it's easy to look up to in terms of molding a career in acting. He's paid his dues, and this book only highlights what he was doing behind the scenes and being man enough, he admits his mistakes. But one policy in the book, and that shared password aspect, you know, it's a tough one. Bedding, kakra. Yeah, a lot of men will not be okay with the shared password policy, even Banampo. But it should be something that should be okay for men who are open, with some form of openness in your marriage, you know. It gives that ahotoswo say Charlie, nothing will happen. We saw the password and be more the awareness and say one farmer.
Martinez, say the conversation is that even there are no controversies, no controversies, but Adjetey also like I say, or no, the opposite, the opposite will achieve, to inspire people, and he wants people to see the positive side of life and all of that. Should all the books coming from our people be that explosive? And I say, because of the Yvonne the TNT, people were anticipating, say, Adjetey the also,
But I say, first of all, Adjetey's brand, as we know, is very different from Yvonne's own, because Yvonne's brand is more of controversies. She's mostly in the news, one good thing or the other. But most of Inanna, she's been in the news for hard issues or a lot of criticism, which Adjetey's brand is not often like that. So, and yet too surprising, having Yvonne's book being that explosive compared to Adjetey Anang. And I said on another platform that a lot of people might be disappointed in Adjetey's book because they thought, looking at the standard Yvonne's book got to with regards to publicity, attention, discussions and all of that, it looks like it will put pressure on Adjetey's book as to whether it will be able to reach that level of discussion. But of course, Adjetey is a fine gentleman that a lot of people love him. So people were also at the launch, and I believe that he might be okay with what he saw or the attention he got because of how he is. He also gave us some kind of bombshell. The only difference is that he didn't go ahead to mention names, but cheating on his wife, those flirtatious, conversation that he initiated. Some people are like, that's Adjetey Anang. And looking at his brand, like, they don't expect to hear some stuff. There are certain people, when you hear certain things about them or certain kind of news, you feel some way, but they are humans, like we say. A man is a man. So if he had also mentioned names, I cheated with Ajwa, I cheated with Eric, I cheated with, Akusia, blah, 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 it would have raised eyebrows, especially if those people had to be in the industry as well.
Then Sarkodie wouldn't be wrong to have said, say, negativity sells.
Of course, he's had his fair share. He has experience in the game. Like we all know, you might project a certain positive content. It wouldn't get that buzz or that attention you might be looking for. But then when you project something that is controversial or negative, you realize people want to know. It's like there's a norm. If you've gone to do a donation, well, it's good. We'll commend you as a norm. But stuff like this will raise eyebrows. So, Abrantepa, quickly, I believe that Adjetey's plan of releasing this book is to inspire and motivate the people, especially the youth out there. So when you go through, you realize it serves as a lesson to all aspects of life. If you are not married, you have a certain lesson to learn before getting into it. He has set his as an example for you to know that I did this, that, and it ended it this way, and I didn't like it.
In the absence of the negativity, how best can he market this book?
Abrantepa, this book is always in the light of marketing itself. Because people at the peak of enjoying marital bliss would still have a step back to feel that moments like this will hit us, especially the aspect of difficulty in childbearing. Genuinely, there are people within our society who are going through that and will take some sort of inspiration. People have a keen interest in reading because of people would like to discover the rationale behind the cheating. Now, you know how difficult it is for the family, especially from the man's side, to accept after 5-6 years of marriage without sort of an issue in terms of a child. And yes, the catalytic, what do we call it, comments by journalism, which highlights the more scandals, the more sales, cannot be associated to this book, just like rather than Yvonne Nelson's book, because of the angle of presentation. But if you have a casual look or critical look at it, it's a book that even counselors would be proud of, would encourage young couples or even older ones to still read, to learn the art of forgiveness and believing to rebuild, no matter how weak your foundation is. Because it's sometimes difficult. Sometimes in some relationships, you feel this is the end. But when you find the energy or the zeal to be able to work things out, you look renewed, and the aura or the kind of reception within your environment becomes different. Your respect is augmented. Whoever deserves what gets it. Like he said, you get it. Like he gives the credit to the woman for that tolerance. Because you see the level at which most marriages are collapsing. It's the woman whose tolerance are
able to sustain it.
Yes, who are able to sustain that kind of trauma or the challenges they face in those marital struggles. They have been the real managers of their marriages. Because those of old, our mothers have seen worse. But they are encouraged, by whatever reasons, to hold. And later you find the men recalling into whatever they used to do to show appreciation to the woman they were so mean to for tolerating them. And it puts you in a sober mood. That after all I did, Elom was able to forgive me, and she prayed for me. She took me out of a lot of mistakes that I would have committed. Adjetey could have easily blown this thing out of proportion more than Yvonne Nelson, so aside his cheating episode. He could have just mentioned, imagine he saying that he had a thing to do with Jackie Appiah. But he was resolute enough to realize that the peak of their friendship in terms of Jackie and the ladies, the circles within which he found himself, if he had mentioned Jackie Appiah, you know what would have already Jackie's name is hanging in terms of some issues. So mentioning her will give her so much instability and could even cost her a lot. So brands endorsement, you get it. He was resolute. That's the difference between a man telling a story and a woman telling a story. So if you're a woman, your emotions could push you to say everything as you want to say it. But a man may also have that kind of manly assessment. That is why I will keep saying that regardless of what Yvonne Nelson did, Sarkodie wasn't supposed to have come out in that measure. He could have also told his story without attacking womanhood. That is as simple as that. But the maturity in this presentation has to do with the fact that Adjetey Anang did not highlight any names, but he only threw a blanket statement that he cheated on the wife and even confessed. Because personally, the wife will know who he cheated with. Because you want me to forgive, you need to confess. So the wife will know, but it's not okay for the public to know. So for me, I think it's a book which is worth selling. It's worth being on the library shelves. And even, I've not read into details, but the little I've seen, I think it passes for academic review analysis.
So one difference that I noticed in this book and then that of Yvonne Nelson is that, you know, Yvonne Nelson was the only one doing the narrative. But this one, at times, he gives some people, including the mother and the wife, Ivan Koshiga,
a voice in the book.
Yes, for them to tell what they know about him.
These are key people around him.
Yeah.
You mentioned Ivan Koshega.
Yes.
He's a
Whitfield
stalwart.
is also, yeah.
He's a stalwart in this industry. He's like an icon, a big icon. The mother, a backbone. The wife, a backbone. And a few friends who maybe that would be go-to people when in times of difficulties or challenges that he would tend to. So he gives them voices to support whatever he puts on paper. I think it's a good story told in a different dimension.
Let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll have Luta join us for a conversation on his craft. Is he for room on GhanaWeb TV? Don't go away.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh.
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
No they envy man, no they envy success. If you do that, blessing go delay. Hustle, oh, hustle. Nobody get your time. Hustle, oh, hustle. Get that in your mind, oh. All your rhyme and flow be tautology. You for come my school, my academy. I no get time for rophology. In quadagro and genealogy. Slow down, hey, yeah. Baby, slow down. I no fit again, no. Domin Tomoson. Domin. Machine, ba.
It's a deep expression.
Yeah.
So
What does it mean?
So it says we lobster.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Just a boom to say on the just all your baboon and
That is your interpretation.
So what is
It
your
was basically
interpretation?
just a dance. It's just a dance, yes. It was a dance.
So that's the song. That song was big. It was huge. Did you benefit? I mean, economically, did it give you money?
Well, I would say yes and no. We had a few fans from it. I would say we had fans from it because I didn't own the original copyrights of the beat because it was originally a rough and smooth song. And then I hopped on the beat. So
break your waist.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I didn't really have rights to, but we played so many shows with it. I mean, and then I brought other songs which were also making waves.
Yeah. I don't know if my memory serves me right, but it appears after Dummy you hit small.
And
we're not hearing of you the way, pretty much how people may want to.
I'd say it was around probably 2018, 2019, because around Dummy was around, I'd say like 2012, 2013. So within that period, from 2013 to roughly like 2016, I was almost everywhere. I was everywhere because I was on every song. Yes.
But after 2016, I'm saying that after the Dummy became a hit.
Well, after Dummy, I had other songs. I had features which were also like I had a song with Castro Bounce. It was top notch. I had a Kikimi with Waisa. I had Yona with Samini. I had In Once Now with Raskuku. Like a whole lot.
Interesting is that you started like with Boys Level on your own. So at the moment, are you on any label?
Yes, I'm on a label right now. So I'm on Absolute Entertainment, and in conjunction with Live News GH. Yes, so that's the label I'm working with.
So there's a contract. You are with them for how many years?
I can't disclose that now.
Yeah, it's hard to
Yes, I can't disclose that now because there's still work. More work to be done before we talk about this.
If you look at how you have progressed from the very beginning where you are doing things on your own, and now that you have a label, the songs that you've had, would you say you are content with the progress, or you think that there is more to be done?
Honestly, I'll say from scratch, I think there were a lot of things I didn't know. I mean, business-wise.
Yeah.
Because I was doing everything on my own. I mean, I'd have to be thinking of, putting the song out there, getting it to the right people. I mean, like it was stress, and this is not a one-man job. I mean, you'd have to have people with the technical know-how to do those other things for you. So now that I'm with a label, I mean, I'm off that stress of thinking of, I mean, like putting the song where it has to be. And all I concentrate on is, I mean, getting good songs so it can be pushed where it needs to get to. Yes, but from scratch there it was really hard, really hard.
I just wanted to ask, with your hits era, were you able to do some international shows? Like, do you
perform outside
Ghana?
Not yet.
Because that song was big, and it's, you know, any danceable tune, once you're out, it's easy for people to invite you, especially for this Euro tours. Even if you're not going on a tour on your own, someone would love to maybe pull you along. I think since you were on that level with most of these artists, so I was expecting that song should have crossed.
Well, it got me a few moves. And in South Africa, I moved to South Africa to do a few works with some other people. But aside that, I didn't really play any outside show. It was just within.
You are out with a new one. What's the title?
Hustle.
Hustle.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I feel we intend to blame people for things we are not able to do for ourselves. Maybe somebody promises to do something for you. You don't take those steps for people to see that you're moving in like that right direction so they can help. Then we put our blames on people. I mean, as an individual, you should do stuff for yourself. So if people see and then they appreciate it, they can also help you. So I'm just encouraging people to, I mean, work, like find something to do. I mean, we go out, we chill, we party. After all those things, you still need to work so you can make.
I see. So yes. Who produced the song?
It was produced by Dream J, and it was mixed and mastered by U-Beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice one. You have a video already?
We're working on it.
Okay.
It's
right. And so far, what would you say has been the response from people?
It's been very great. I didn't expect it because I know people know me mostly for fast tempo songs.
Yeah.
So when I switched a bit, everybody was like, "Oh, okay," because I was also trying to introduce that other side of me to people. So the reception is it was very welcoming.
And I have seen you on a couple of stages since the release of this song, and the reception that the people give you when you mount the stage and all. How, when you are on stage, what goes through your mind?
I'm just there to have fun. That's
just there to have fun,
basically. Yes, I'm just there to have fun. It's something I love doing, so I make sure, and most of the time I also take into consideration where I am, like exactly where I'm having the performance. If it's a, let's say, a school show, I know what to expect. If it's maybe like a corporate show, I know my approach. Like every show I go to, and then how I approach. Yeah. So yes, that's what I take into consideration. The rest is history.
Martinez has been very quiet. Me and Romeo agreed we do the interview. Martinez, what's up? Say something then.
Yeah, I enjoy the conversation. This is a fine artist that I've told him before. I mean, his collaboration with Samini Yona, man, I think at the time it was one of the biggest collaboration by Samini. And even his entry on the song, talking about Jonah, I see that that song is a gospel song. Say
Sure,
you
know,
it's a Bible.
It's a gospel
Yeah,
song.
Mr.
It's
Man,
a gospel
one
song.
go.
It's a gospel song.
Aha,
Man, one
Go.
with bass.
Yeah.
Oh, then Charlie. Anybody who has forgotten that song, just listen to Jonah featuring Luta. Listen the entry, no, or the different
Feel.
vibe. So he's an artist who has a certain atmosphere around, you know, creating a song. And it's very unfortunate he went off for a while, but you know, everything happened for a reason.
Oh, that's what I'm called for. So maybe son, one thing.
But what was it? Yeah, there to us, you know.
So after 2017, 2018,
Because it wasn't really consistent, like
So are you also thinking of change of name and Adjetey? Because that's a name.
I did it already. Initially it was Luther, but with the search engines there are so many Luthers on there, so we shortened it to Lutagh.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Obaya no so we say hustle na the melodies. So go okoba to me ira touch the kakra. But still, I say Davia we jai Beanston be 3 years. Obaka touch no experience no. And I watched his performance at the comedy show I think last 2 weeks.
Comedy Express or Lexi
Comic, Obian Ponsai,
Journey to the South.
I mean, when he mounted the stage, you could see the reaction from the crowd.
That performance was good.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Also, your artists be telling you, oh, where there, where we be and there will be Muswa. I mean, where you like to put this one aside, where the scene, where the scene. He's that kind of artist. All his songs are melodious and vibing to go. So this kind of jam he just brought, he doesn't need to struggle. He's paid his dues. He's contributed. Artists like him, when they come back or when they decide to do some promo, they don't need to beg or struggle. Yes, they need the real. So I wish him all the best.
Romeo, have the final take now.
Yeah, I feel he's got the vibe with some big boys already, and you know, it's more. I'll not say it was less competitive before, but because of this international labels grabbing people from the local front and there, so it looks more competitive now. That you should be ready for the battle ahead. And like you said, you were you did fast tempo. Now you've switched a little, so you should also be able to know how to shuttle.
That one in the lie because Blessing was low tempo. I think Blessing and Hustle, they are within the same range, right?
They have that right.
So I feel
kind of.
Then it means that whether it's high or low, you're good. So you are easy. It's easy for you to shuttle between. So why don't you give your fans like the options? If I like your low tempo songs, I jump to it. If I like your fast tempo, I jump to it. So Luta is a full package. So for me, it's an observation.
We're also looking at that international appeal. Because I feel most of the time if I'm trying to put a song out, I look at like a target audience. So I know, okay, this particular song I'm doing is for this. Yes. So that was what we were trying to do.
Okay. One thing I've observed is that those who go international to perform to the crowd. Yesterday I watched Ambule, and it was just a beat. So I think you should pay critical attention to your beats. Like, even when they don't understand your lyrics, it's the beats that will lure them into sitting deep into the song to even start grabbing the lyrics. So the beat is what, you know, the days of Hammer and Co. Most of these guys became known because of the beats.
Exactly.
So at least it's something that you don't just hop on any beat because you have a good product. So don't just hop on any beat. It's just something I really want you to be particular about.
Sure. Okay, Luta. So Johnny. If there is anything that you want your fans to know, you can put it across.
I thank everybody who has stayed with me till now. I thank you guys also for having me on this platform, and there's more great music coming, so my fans should just stay tuned. Yeah.
Give us one line of the hustle, name Fampon. We dessert.
No the envy, man. No the envy success. If you do that, blessing go delay. Brother, take your time. Everybody get the time to shine. And the ways are different, oh, it can never be the same as mine. So, I see they do the dance. I see they pop champagne. When you finish that, my brother go and hustle. Hustle, oh, hustle. Nobody get your time. Hustle, oh, hustle. Get that in your mind, oh.
I was waiting for the chorus.
Hey, now what voice is that?
Why
Why rap? Oh,
Abrantepa. Hey, me boy. Hey,
One day, one day, what's now? One day, what's now? Yeah, check. See, Luta, if this guy is rapping. Okay.
Before I go,
Hello.
big shout out to Live News GH, Zola.
Okay. Yeah.
Doing a great job, and I'm happy he's with them. I mean, so supporting what Luta is doing. So, Zola, wherever you have your, I like he's your manager.
Yes.
Okay.
Zola Sikaba. On that note, we end this episode of E-Forum on GhanaWeb TV. I've been on the show with Kwesi Martinez. He's a film producer and entertainment pundit. Winning awards, baby. Award-winning entertainment pundit. Mamin Kanasa. Luta, Lutagh, is a musician. He's out with a new song, Hustle. And so go and listen to the song, promote it, suggest the song to your friends, play it at your parties. This is how we can support our talents, the fine talents that we have in this country. Magdona Nane Asari, aka Ambassador Romeo, is an artist manager, event organizer, Madina Social Welfare Assemblyman. Thank you for...
Miss Ghana,
Miss Ghana, Emmanuel. Open so we need beauty pageant. One day coach you how to talk.
Na I know the PR. I found out.
One day training Mano how to talk. Your presentation on stage.
On training memo.
Now here the audio here. David.
Memo so models so memo.
Here the was one fee.
Mr. Ghana, like almost international pageant.
But I know they also on country me that.
And the crowd
because the man and Tamba once a while.
Oh dear, My name is Benefo Boabin Abrantepa. Yapon.